Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is your host Noorul and Khatri and the name of the show is Innovative Science. जैसे कि आप जानते हैं Innovative Science is all about biosciences, biotechnology and the latest advancements in this field and we have a wonderful guest today, Miss Areed Sheikh, who will be talking about biosciences, biotechnology and her latest research on this domain, and we're so glad to have her here. I'll tell you a little about Miss Areed Sheikh. So from what I know, she has been an active participant in the extracurricular activities here at Zabust. Biosciences Society का 2 साल तक वो part रह चुकी हैं as the editorial and publications member. उसके अलावा she has been also leading project EPC as one of the directors. And she's an amazing individual and we can't wait to introduce her to you. So hello Miss Areed Sheikh, how are you? We're so glad that you're here.
Hello, hi, I'm really honored to be here and I'm actually so excited to talk with you today.
Alright, so am I. So let's quickly jump on to the show and I would like to hit you up with the first question, that is how do you like Zabas so far?
Okay, so my experience with Zabas has been pretty great, I would say. I mean, no journey is without its ups and downs, but
absolutely.
Even with COVID, I would say that Zabas has handled it pretty well, and I didn't really feel a lot of inconvenience, and I didn't feel like there was a huge gap in my learning, so yeah, I've been pretty satisfied.
Alright, that sounds great. So how did you end up here at Zabas? Because मुझे लगता है कि most of the people handling here in biosciences or biotechnology or generally the life sciences program, उनका biology का background होता है और pre-medical का background होता है, and then most of us opt to get to a medical university, to our MBBS or BDS. So why biosciences?
That's a great question. So it's very spot on. I was actually pre-medical, and I mean I've always had a fear of needles and blood, but somehow whenever I told a teacher I was like, I love bio, so they'd be like, okay, become a doctor, this is the path for you, because everyone encourages that here.
Absolutely.
And this once I was giving my final exams for the A-levels, I realized, holy shit, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not, I mean, med school is not for me. What am I doing? You know that moment where you're like, hey, kya ho raha hai? Nee, this is not what I want. So I had that moment and I was like, okay, it's too late to apply to any universities abroad now, so I have to look at universities here. And all of a sudden, I found this program and it was filled with all kinds of introductory subjects. So it had molecular biology, genetics, immunology, all the subjects that I was interested in and didn't really know that much about. And then it also had a little bit of other fields. So we have sociology, we have psychology, we have humanities, we have business management, which is really interesting. So when I saw the course outline, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Okay, so well, you discovered what you wanted to do, and we're glad you landed up here. You're currently in your final year, and I'm sure it has been pretty hectic. Can you please tell our audience about how the academics here is at Zabas? Because the courses seem amazing, but are they actually really that fun, just as the name sounds?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I would say that most of the courses are like that, but sometimes, yes, names can be deceiving. You think you're gonna learn something that's very innovative, but then you realize that it's more or less built on the same concepts that you've learned in the previous courses, because most of biological knowledge is built off of the foundations that you have. So it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. However, with each course, as you move on with the semesters, you learn more, more in depth, I would say. So yeah.
Okay, so what have you enjoyed learning the most so far?
Okay, so my major interest is molecular biology and genetics, and those are two of the courses that I enjoyed the most. I would say that I enjoyed humanities, sociology, psychology, these types of subjects as well, because I had a secondary interest in them, but it wasn't enough for me to actually think about just doing social sciences or BBA or whatever, so it's really nice that I get to experience them.
अच्छा, अभी आपने ना दो बहुत ही मुश्किल वर्ड्स का जिक्र किया है, मोलेक्युलर बायोलॉजी एंड जेनेटिक्स. ठीक है, बीइंग फ्रॉम कमिंग फ्रॉम बायोटेक्नोलॉजी बैकग्राउंड, आई डेफिनेटली नो व्हाट दीज आर, बट मोस्ट ऑफ आवर ऑडियंस इज नॉट फ्रॉम बायोसाइंसेस बैकग्राउंड. तो आप उनको थोड़ा सा बताएं व्हाट दीज वर्ड्स आर, मतलब नाम सुन के ही ना डर जाए वो लोग तो.
Okay, it's nothing to be afraid of. Molecular biology is basically बस molecules को पढ़ना, and like molecules की आपस में जो interaction होती है, and when we say molecular biology, it means molecules that are present in humans and organisms in nature basically. And genetics is, I hope everyone knows, okay, we have DNA in our bodies, and उस DNA को divide करते हैं into genes. So studying those genes, what they do, how they work, that's genetics.
All right, I think that's a very clear explanation. I think सबको समझ आ जाएगा. And you said कि ये वाले जो subjects हैं इनका आपके अंदर आपका बहुत ज़्यादा interest था, and I feel like कि आपका interest बरकरार रहता है या नहीं. Your teachers have a huge part to play in that. So what would you like to say about the teachers here at Zapist?
We have some incredible faculty members. I mean, I'm not exaggerating at all or like trying to flatter anyone. I love my teachers so much. They're one of the biggest reasons I ended up staying here, because in my first semester I was still a bit unsure because I had a major career change, I guess. I mean, I wasn't doing what I thought I'd be doing, so I was very unsure. But when I experienced how the classes were here, and when I was basically attending those classes and just understanding the information that my teachers are giving me, it really helped me stay firm on my decision to stay here.
Okay.
And I realized, no, this is where I should be. So yeah.
Well, we're so glad that you found a place where you belong and you got some incredible teachers. How are the students? Like, how's your class? Was it very difficult to make friends? Because as you said, no, you weren't coming from a similar mindset.
Yeah,
from them. You also wanted to go abroad. So abroad और यहाँ पे तो बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क होता है.
That is true. I guess first semester maybe I didn't experience something so difficult. So being a very shy person, I wouldn't say that I was immediately very friendly with everyone. But I mean, I think everyone is pretty approachable, and even if I'm not best friends with everyone, I think that I get along with most of my classmates pretty well. And I think that we have a very positive environment. So even though a lot of my friends were not planning on going abroad until their bachelor's, now they're thinking about it. So I would say that that similarity is now forming, because we're all passionate about what we're studying. So yeah, that's pretty great.
So would you guys be going together, or what? Do you have any plans as of yet?
That would be ideal. I would love to go someplace that my friends are also going.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more about the journey. Like, even if we all end up in different places, we're still doing this huge, like, it's a huge step going abroad, right? So we're still taking that step together, even if we end up in different places, in different fields. So I have friends who are interested in plant culture, and some people who are interested in microbes. That's like bacteria, fungi, and stuff for people who don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, even if we're all in different domains and we're all in different places, it's still like we're still pursuing research, and we're still doing something, things that we learned in our time here at Zappis. That's what we'll be pursuing in the future. So that's something that's really
Okay,
exciting.
so it's been 3 years in Zabist. What's your most favorite and least favorite thing about Zabist, or particularly your program, or it could be related to the faculty that you're dealing with on a daily basis?
Okay, so my favorite thing I would definitely say is just the environment here. I would say that, I mean, I've had a lot of fun here, even though I wouldn't say, I mean, this is something that every person at Zappis knows. We don't have the best campuses.
Yeah.
But the people make the campus better.
Obviously.
When you're
obviously,
staying
it's the
here,
people.
yeah, exactly. I mean, without them, I don't think I would have had that much fun. The least favorite aspect would have to be the fact that I wasn't able to do molecular biology related research here. I really wanted to, and for some reason I thought that we had the resources here.
Yeah.
But molecular biology is pretty rare. I mean, not rare, but like it doesn't have that kind of scope in Pakistan. So you wouldn't find a lot of labs here that actually let you do a lot of like research in that domain. And if you do, you need to have like a PhD first.
Oh my
So for
God.
us, that was just impossible.
And you're just in bachelor's.
Yeah.
Alright,
exactly.
so I think that was it about Zabas, and I'll be asking you further more questions about your research because you seem pretty inclined towards molecular biology, and I'm hoping that we have a great talk on it. But we will talk about it after a short little break. So see you guys after this short little break, and we'll talk about everything that Reach is doing in her final year.